meeting is being recorded. Oh,
so it says recording in progress. So I don't know where, when it records to the cloud, I don't know where it goes.
it probably goes to the cloud, and it'll probably leave a link afterwards, and you could share the link around.
Right. Okay.
That'll be good. Oh, good.
Keep our fingers crossed. Cleantech came about because it was an economic problem rather than an environmental problem. It was at the time when there were still 3 councils on the Sunshine Coast, and they were starting to talk, and there was a group called Sunrock, which was the combination of those 3 councils. And they were starting to talk about how they could diversify their economies away from construction and tourism, because construction and tourism, this was in about 2007, construction and tourism had a history of booms and busts. And so looking to have industries on the Sunshine Coast that were more consistent and led to, you know, full-time employment always, rather than when there's a boom, oh, lots of jobs. When there's a bust, oh, sorry, no jobs or less jobs. So because I come from Noosa, I suggested to my director at the Department of State Development I was working for then as a Queensland government employee, that I thought in this, well, I knew Noosa had, and I thought the Sunshine Coast had a competitive advantage in environmentally friendly building and design, because we had architects here on the coast like John Mainwaring, who went on to design the library at the Sunshine Coast University. He had designed a number of public buildings and was well known for his environmentally friendly design, as was Gabriel Poole, who was a Noosa-based, and so was John Mainwaring, Noosa-based architect. And Gabriel Poole had been designing his tent houses and other houses that were built for people to live in the environment, not, you know, where you turn on the air conditioning when you shut the door.
Yeah, yeah.
And people like Lindsay and Kerry Clare, who were based at Buderim at that point. So I was told to go out and investigate. And so I went out and investigated and found there were a lot of businesses that were already known to the Department of State Development for their manufacturing capability. But what I found was that they were businesses that were making products or providing services around water harvesting, site recycling and reuse, things like off-grid septic sewage systems. You know, at that time there was had been a drought leading up to that, so the whole thing about having water tanks was becoming much more acceptable. There were businesses that were working in the renewable energy space, particularly solar installers, but other businesses doing things like reconditioning pool pumps to run at a different speed, so they were more energy efficient. And a lot of businesses that were providing services in designing houses and buildings that were done in what's called passive design or environmentally friendly, sustainable design, where it depends on the placement of the building on the envelope and whether it gets breezes and natural sunlight and all that sort of thing. So I found there are a lot of those businesses on the Sunshine Coast. A lot of the people who ran those businesses had come here and established their business here because they wanted to live here for the lifestyle, and also because the ethos of their business in making products that were environmentally friendly fitted with particularly Noosa Council's ethos of wanting to be more sustainable. And Sunshine Coast Council, what became Sunshine Coast Council, were then starting to talk about, you know, that was the early days of sustainability and things that we now see as mainstream. So I invited some of those representatives of those businesses to come to State Development and have a chat about how we as a government organisation could help their businesses. I found a lot of those businesses didn't even know about each other. They didn't do business together. So we talked about how we could do this. and how they could start doing business together, be each other's supply chain, and how we could boost the region as being known as a region for environmentally friendly businesses. So they decided that, you know, they would set up a group, and so that became a reference group to government. Because I was the government employee, I was able to be like the business, the manager, I guess, of that cluster. And so we went forward from there and eventually incorporated that organisation as an incorporated association. So it meant that they could get grants, and did a lot of work in raising the profile, not only of those businesses, so they did business together, but also of this region as being a region for environmentally friendly businesses. We then changed the name to Cleantech because that was more in keeping with the rest of what was going on in the rest of the world. And so as a result of all that, the region became known more to state government and to some areas of federal government, who were at that time both interested in sustainability, as being a region with sustainable businesses. And what's come out of it now for both the Noosa Council and the Sunshine Coast Council is that the environmental industries, as it's called in Noosa Council, and Cleantech industries, as it's called in Sunshine Coast Council, is a priority industry sector that's supported by the Economic Development Department of both councils. So that's the story. I guess you could say what we're doing in Zen is